setting up a home security system, a video surveillance system, today on DOTTO Tech. Steve Dotto here. How the heck you doing this fine day? At DOTTO Tech, we make technology easy so you can do more. More what? Well, yoga is probably fun, but without the pets. Today we're going to be taking on the topic of security and surveillance systems, primarily looking at the home, but I'm sure this expands into the industrial space as well. And we're going to take a look at a series of products from a company called Arlo. Actually, they're developed by Netgear, but Netgear is splitting off this arm of the company Arlo, and so it's going to be its own line and its own brand. And they have some pretty sophisticated and very cool tools available. Now, in the spirit of full disclosure, I did not pay for any of this gear. I've got a good friend that works for them, and they sent me an entire kit for me to outfit the new home here. So this has all been given to me. I have no other relationship with Arlo other than the fact that they provided me with all of this gear for free. And it is pretty awesome gear. So here is the basis of how their security system works. And they've got a wide range of security products, but we're going to be specifically talking about home cameras in a setup for a wireless setup, which is easy to install and easy to manage. One of the intimidating factors of home security systems is typically speaking, they're hardwired in, so you have to have somebody come in and install them properly. B, you're tied to a contract then with said supplier in order for your system to be working. With the Arlo system, none of that is the case, although you do have some options that get close. As far as the setup goes, it's all wireless. It's all built around a wireless hub, which you plug into your wireless router which connects then to the internet, which gives you access to the Arlo services through your smartphone and through your web browser. You manage it all online, which is just a little bit of awesome. But included when you purchase the product is a free subscription to their basic services. So you can do almost all of your monitoring and auditing of your system and management of your system without paying an additional fee. Now, they do have an upgraded service available to you, which offers some more features, which is a monthly subscription fee. But with the purchase of just the hardware, you can set up a surveillance system that works for you with no additional ongoing costs. And as far as I'm concerned, there's a big thumbs up on that. Now, this is the heart of this system. This is Arlo's Pro camera. This is the one, at least the one that I have. And one of the things that I love about this camera is this feature here. You've got a couple of different options for mounting, but it's completely wireless, and we'll show you it being configured in just a few moments. It's completely wireless. It takes a battery inside here, and it's a big battery that lasts for a goodly amount of time. But in the back is this little kind of disc in this little recessed area of the camera. And this is the mounting hub, which has a single screw in the back that you just basically drive one screw into wherever you want it mounted. You hang this on it, and then this device magnetically attaches to it. And oh my goodness, it's strong and very positionable. You can put it pretty much anywhere you want. Now, the one downside of this is if it's where somebody can reach up and grab it, of course, it's really easy for them to take the camera, although, of course, you will have video of them doing that. But if it's in an inaccessible location, it couldn't be easier to mount, move, position, focus, and manage the Arlo cameras. Now, that's also another benefit of this is you have to, if you're going completely wireless where you're not plugged into anything, you're going to have to change out that battery every couple of months. So you're going to have to swap the battery. It is a rechargeable battery, but you are going to have to refresh it, and you'll be notified when the battery gets flat. So that's the basic system. Now, there are a whole bunch of additional feature tools for it. You know, if you want a permanent mount or if you need a different angle, there's different ways to mount it on the wall, which are a lot more traditional. There is charging systems where you can plug it into AC power, or you can even set up, they've got this really cool solar panel, which gives you a lot of different flexible options, say if you're setting it up at a cabin or a remote site. But that's basically kind of how it all works. That's how the system pulls together. Now, the pieces of the system are the wireless router and the cameras. That's all I'm going to be using and setting up for you today. But there are other pieces that you can incorporate as well, and you can take a look at their website for more information on that. So what I like to do now is I actually started this setup yesterday. I've got the first camera installed. Let's jump onto the computer and take a look at the software. Right, I am in the Arlo software, which is a browser-based tool. This is the software that you sign up for an account when you set up your system, and this is where you configure and manage all of your different account settings and audit and monitor what's happening with your security system as well. So I started setting things up yesterday. Yesterday I set up my first camera and configured everything, and today we're gonna add another camera. And I've got the other camera right here ready to set up, which we'll do in just a few moments. But before we do, let's go on a little tour of the tool itself, of the software itself. Now everything I'm going to show you here is on the browser now. I'm accessing it through my computer, but we can do the same things through our smartphone app, which I'll show you the features of that in just a few moments. So you have lots of flexibility about how you manage and monitor all of your different security tools, all of your different security assets. Now, as I said, I set up the one camera yesterday. We can actually see the feed from that camera here right now. Now, it's set up for motion capture right now, and it's recording as we go. But before we go into things, let me just turn the camera live. Now, when you make it live, it means that you're in direct communication with the camera and what you're seeing is happening in real time, as opposed to motion capture. So there we can see actually my neighbor across the street there is mowing his lawn, and you can see our front porch here. Along the top, it tells us that we're set for motion capture, that it's hooked up to wireless, and it also gives us an indication of our battery life. And the battery with these cameras, they tell me will last between 2 and 3 months. Between charges, which is pretty darn impressive if you think about it. But that's based on use. Obviously, if you're going to be accessing it the way I am right now on a regular basis, you're probably going to get less. You're going to get less use out of it. And of course, there are options for you to plug it into solar or plug it into to regular power, if you choose to have it set up that way. Now, I've actually set this camera up just outside my window, so I can reach out, pull it in any time to recharge it. So that's the way that I've chosen to set it up. Now, here along the bottom, this is where it gets kind of exciting, because this shows us the two-way communication that's happening with the camera, which is really kind of mind-blowing when you think about this for just a simple little home system here. We have the ability to be able to record anything that we see over the camera, and you can see the quality is pretty good. It's a nice high-def camera. We also have the ability here to be able to turn on and off our audio settings. We can open the microphone, which will then take the mic feed from whatever device we're on, our smartphone or here on my computer, and be able to talk through a little speaker. It's not going to be a phenomenal quality, but a little speaker in the camera to whoever's on the other side. Plus, we can listen and monitor exactly what's happening there, so they can talk back to us. Now, I don't think that this really replaces the smart doorbells that we see growing in popularity, but it does offer some of the functionality that they offer, which we can see happening here. Moving on, we go to the library, and this is where we see the results of our security. For each of our cameras, we are going to see a roster of all of the different videos that it's captured. Now, as I said, mine is set for motion capture. So in the last 24 hours, this is how many videos that it's captured. And it captures a little short snippet of video every time it sees motion. And you can see the length of each of these videos as well as the time that they occurred. And as you go on, you will have here a calendar that you can go back and you can check the date, so you can look at older videos. Now, with the free tool, you have access to 7 days with the free account. You have access to 7 days worth of video, and then if you buy the premium accounts, you get longer and more storage, is one of the primary features of the premium packages. Now, with all of the different packages, you can set up alerts so that if motion is detected, you get an alert by email or some other form of alert coming to your smartphone or whatever device you choose. So you've got that kind of thing. Now, for a front door situation like this, you don't want to be alerted every time it sees motion going by, because every time a car goes by, I'd be getting an email. So I turned that off right away. So that's where we see all of the capture. And this works in daytime and night. Last night, as my brother-in-law and my sister came over for dinner, as they were leaving, here we are on the porch saying goodbye to them. So we have a nice little video of that, and I told Shan to even wave to the camera, which she did, because we know that we were on the security camera. So there we have we have all of the different capture information that's happening. We set things up. We set up the parameters for each of the devices in the mode area. And when we go into the mode, what we see is right now my camera is armed and I can turn it off. It tells me what features I have turned on, like what mode it's in. And in this particular case, I've got motion detection on, and I'll show you more of that in a moment. You can also turn on and off a schedule. So if you only wanted to have your camera working, say, in hours that you're not in the office, so you wanted to turn it on at 6 o'clock at night and turn it off at 6 in the morning, you can set the schedule that it's actually active here. And of course, that's going to extend your battery life and other things. And you can also set up geofencing, which means you can manage whether it's turned on or off based on your location. But that's getting pretty elaborate. Most of us are going to be interested in this feature right here. It's going into the rules, which is where you determine how it handles all of the different situations, and I can determine whether the audio or the motion is causes the camera to kick in. It could do it by sound as well as motion. And then what is it going to do? Record a video, and then what do you want me to do? Do you want me to push notification or send an email alert if it happens? Now, the final thing that I'm going to show you here is if we go into settings, this is where you can go in and you can see and you can manage all of the different devices. And when we add this next camera, it will also be available to us here. And you can go in and you can check all different sorts of information about that individual camera right here, including if you want to change its video settings, if you want to have it capture smaller files, or if you want the best quality video, all of that sort of stuff, and you can name them. You can do quite a bit of sophisticated configuration at this particular point. So the next stage that we're going to do right now is I'm going to go back to devices, and you and I are going to take this camera, we're going to add it to our network, and then I'm going to position it outside so you can see how easy it is to kind of set everything up. So I'm going to click Add Device, and then it walks me through the process of adding a device. I am going to choose to add the camera to this device, and I have to just leave here for just a second. I have to go over and I have to hit two buttons. What I'm going to do is I'm going to hit one button on the base station. That's going to tell it to sync, and then I hit this button here. I'll be right back. It's pretty dead simple to do. I think, yep, there it is. It's already there, and it's now updating this camera's firmware. So do not remove the batteries. Okay, it's just going to take a few seconds here for the update, and then it's going to be turned on. Oh, you can see it's already starting to capture information. You can see it there in the background. While it's doing that, you can actually change the name. I'm going to change the name of my camera while we're on the fly. Are you as excited as I am about this? Okay, devices. Is it on yet? It's still updating. Oh, I can peel off the little plastic protector. Now, while I'm talking to you about this, oh good, we've got a live image on it now. It's going live, but we've got it working. There it is. It's all ready to go. So, I'm going to go downstairs, and I'm going to plug this, I'm going to stick this on the mount that I've prepared for us. Ooh, I am very excited. Okay, we have a live connection happening there. So great, you can see the front porch, and we can see the high office views of the same porch. So I've got this nicely bracketed. I can see everything that's going on my front porch, which is awesome. But I have to do one thing before we get too far down the road, is I have to go into the mode settings here, and I have to modify my rules. It's armed, they're both armed, but if there's motion on the front porch, right now, even since just I was walking up, it has sent me several notifications. Motion detected on front porch. I don't want those notifications, so I'm going to turn off my push notifications for there. All right, we've got that done. All right, that was pretty easy to set up and configure. I can't imagine it being any easier than that installation that we just went through. But as I promised, I'm going to now take you into the software on the smartphone so you can see how it works as well. And you can set it up for Touch ID, as I've got done here, and it's launching. Now, one word of caution is only one instance of the software can be running at the same time. So when I logged in here, it would have kicked me off of my upstairs computer where I was logged in previously. But here you can see that we've got the same view that we were showing you on the desktop. And we can have all of the same assets available to us. If I go live on any of these views, I can tap live. I'm going to see the real-time view, and the camera goes live with all of the additional settings. Now, that allow me to take a picture or to communicate using the microphone and speaker system. The same basic tools, although now they're at the bottom of the screen instead of the top of the screen, are available to us, where you can go in and you can manage the mode, and you can manage the settings of your cameras. But the main thing you're going to do with the mobile solution, I believe, is through this interface here. It's just being able to take a look and check how things are going. Now, these cameras, I guess, everybody's going to have a different use case, don't you think, for this sort of technology? Some people are going to use it for security, as I've got it set up for here. But you could also use it to monitor your baby's room, and you could turn on the audio monitoring as well. It could act as a baby monitor. You could use it for communication. If you have an elderly parent or something, you want it in their room, and you want to be able to talk to them at a distance. Even if you're at the home office and there's something going on, you could then have a conversation with them. I think there's a lot of ways that you can install it. Personally, I find it a little bit creepy to think about installing these cameras in the house where we're living. But I can see a case where you might want to do that at some point. As a matter of fact, I'm tempted to set one up occasionally to monitor Farley to see what he's doing when we're not at home as a pet cam, checking things out. It might be a good use, and I've got an extra camera, so I might do something along that line. Now, I'm no expert on security systems. Fortunately, with Arlo, you don't have to be. It's as easy to set up as any other wireless gear in your house. And I believe, at least from what I've seen, this management system is a dream to use. I know that I've not run into anything that I say, oh, that's going to be a little bit challenging or a little bit difficult. So if you want more information, there are going to be links below. I hope you found today's video to be useful. We love to hear your comments and suggestions here at DOTTO Tech. If you found today's video to be useful, why not subscribe to the channel? Make sure that you hear about all of our upcoming videos, and make sure you hit that notification bell when you subscribe so you hear when we upload a new video. Your comments are always welcome. I don't have time to reply to each and every comment in YouTube comments, but I guarantee you one thing. I do read each and every comment. Until next time, I'm Steve DOTTO. Have fun storming the castle.